What's up, everybody? Leah Alverson here, back with another video, and today I'm going to briefly demonstrate how I use Textedit on the Mac. Now, for those of you guys that are not too familiar with Mac OS, and for those of you guys that are considering switching to Mac OS, Textedit is basically the Mac equivalent to Notepad for Windows. Now, do keep in mind I've never used Notepad. But in a nutshell, it's just a basic word processor that comes pre-installed with Mac OS. Now, there is another word processing application available on the Mac App Store called Pages, which has more advanced functionality. I'll talk about that briefly at the end of the video. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started with the demonstration. So, for this, I am going to need two hands because I'm using my phone to actually record this video. And hopefully this will be the final time I use this phone. I'm planning on upgrading sometime soon. So, pardon me while I go ahead and set this down next to the computer. Sighted viewers, you may not see much, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I have my... Well, let me adjust this. Okay, so I have my camera sitting next to my computer. So now I'm going to go ahead and launch Textedit from the dock. It is in my applications folder, but I have it in the dock for ease of access.
Dock. Mail, 5 of 23. Textedit, 15 of 23.
VO space. Finder.
Textedit. Untitled. Window. Edit text. As keyboard focus.
And I'm going to try to show you guys. So for sighted users, this is basically the screen for Textedit. Okay, so now I am in the Textedit application. Now there are essentially two parts to this application, to Textedit. So you have the ruler, which I'll kind of demonstrate here in a second, and then finally the
edit text,
the actual text box where you can basically start typing stuff. So now I'm just going to go ahead and VO left back to the ruler. Now, in order for VoiceOver to recognize that you're in a text field or a specific item, so experienced macOS users, you probably, of course, besides VoiceOver saying the name of the item here, it gives you that sound letting you know that this item can be interacted with. Now, first-timers and sighted users, when I mention interacting with an item, in this case I'm going to be interacting with the ruler in just a minute, you're basically going within the boundaries of that item, whether it be a table, toolbar, or slider, or sometimes a search field, depending. So to interact with items, I'm going to be nice, because I have mentioned this in previous videos. So to interact with items, all you have to do is hit VO Shift down arrow, or if you're using trackpad gestures, it's a 2-finger swipe right. But I'm going to go ahead and use the keyboard for now and hit VO Command Shift down arrow, or I'm sorry, VO Shift down arrow.
In ruler.
And now
15 items, 0 inches. First line indent ruler marker.
And now I'm in the ruler, and I'm gonna try to show sighted users. Please bear with me. I'm not the best when it comes to visuals, okay? My apologies to sighted users. And if you find me going like this, because I'm gonna have my hand right here, yes, I just want to make sure I'm adjusting this right. So there it is for sighted users. Okay, so I'm in the ruler, and basically all it is just basically it's measured in inches, so I'm just gonna basically, it's at 0 now, so I could just VO right through this, and it takes me all the way to, and I'm just gonna go to the bottom of the window.
7.5 inches.
7.5 inches, basically. I'm gonna go back to the top.
0 inches.
And I'm hitting Control to mute speech. So I'm gonna stop interacting. So to stop interacting, I'm gonna basically do the reverse of the command I just did earlier. in this case, which is VO shift up arrow, or a 2-finger swipe to the left on the trackpad.
Out of ruler.
Okay. And then the next part, and the part I really want to get to right now is...
Edit text.
Is the text box. Now, of course, I could probably start typing, but for VoiceOver to actually recognize that you're in a text field, so that way I could hit VO right to move within the document, use VoiceOver commands to move within the document. Of course, alternatively, I can use OS 10, you know, the universal keyboard shortcuts for Mac OS, but actually, typically, that's the way I prefer. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and interact with the text box here, and I'm going to use the command I used earlier, VO shift down arrow.
And edit text.
And now I'm in the text box. Now, I want to go ahead and demonstrate how quiet this keyboard is. Now, for those of you guys that want to hear this, please make sure you turn up your volumes, because this isn't very loud. But then again, you will hear VoiceOver speak every word I type. So just for this example, I'm just going to type in just a simple sentence. You'll probably know what it is.
The. Quick. Brown. Fox. Delete. Judged.
Okay, so I messed up there. So, VoiceOver plays a little tone that lets me know I have a misspelled word there. So, just for sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead and delete the word left of the cursor by hitting Option Delete.
Delete judged.
And good thing I almost didn't say backspace. So, I'm feeling lazy, so I'm
Beginning of text.
just going to start over.
The. Quick. Brown. Fox. Jew.
Oh my gosh.
Beginning of text.
Sorry guys, I can't type today.
The. Quick. Brown. Fox. Jumps. Over. The. Lazy. Dog. Period.
Actually, believe it or not, the butterfly keyboard it's not too bad, believe it or not. It's pretty quiet. It's a lot quieter than my Windows PC anytime I'm typing on that. Now, as I was typing, you probably heard VoiceOver speak what I was typing. That's because I have it set to words. The verbosity is actually, or not, I'm sorry, not the verbosity. The keyboard echo is set to words. Now, let me just erase this real quick if you don't mind.
The quits beginning of text.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how I can change that real quick. I currently, like I stated, have my keyboard echo set to words. Now, visually impaired viewers that are listening to this video, you probably know that most screen readers and some products like, you know, the Braille Note and anything involving speech has some sort of like a keyboard echo setting. In this case, for VoiceOver on the Mac, there are a couple ways I could change this. One, I could go ahead and launch a VoiceOver utility and do it from there, which might take several keystrokes. But here's a quicker way. I can access the verbosity rotor by pressing VOV, or Control Option V, and this will take me, like I stated, right to the verbosity rotor.
Adjust typing echo words.
I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. The wind's blowing. The wind's blowing out there. So, pardon me, sighted viewers. I'm doing the best I can, you guys. My apologies. Okay. And there you go. That is the verbosity setting, the verbosity rotor. And now, all I need to do is basically change my keyboard echo. So I'm just going to go ahead and basically, right now it's currently set to words, but I'm going to go ahead and show you all the options real quick.
Characters and words.
Characters and words.
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 Characters.
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 And actually, if I go back to the very top.
Word. Characters and nothing.
Nothing. I'm going to go ahead and go back to words.
Words.
And there's a few other options. You can change it, you know, what happens with text attributes, how VoiceOver behaves with capital letters, and a few other settings. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and close this.
Stop adjusting typing echo.
And then, of course, with Textedit, just like your basic word processor, you know, most word processors, of course, you can basic formatting, you can adjust line spacing, margins, things like that. You know, text alignment, margins, line spacing, all that simple stuff. And now I'm going to go ahead and quit out of Textedit by hitting Command Q.
Quit Textedit. In dialog. 4. Window. Untitled. Untitled. Content selected. Save as. Edit text. Do you want to keep this new document untitled? You can choose to save your changes, or delete this document immediately. You can't undo this action. Save as. Tags. Where?
Okay, you probably heard VoiceOver say quite a mouthful there. Basically, all it's really asking me is, do I want to go ahead and save this document? Now, I could if I wanted to, but since I don't really need it and it's just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and just delete it because I don't really need it right now.
Save. Delete button. Press delete finder. Desktop. Macintosh HD. Volume.
And now I'm back to my Finder window. Now, let me just go ahead and briefly tell you a little bit about Pages, which is actually a more advanced word processing application for Mac. Maybe similar to Microsoft Word. But with this, with Pages, it is free on the Mac App Store, and it usually comes with your Mac. But if it doesn't, you can always get it from the Mac App Store. But it's got some more advanced settings. I haven't really played around with it much to actually give a demonstration on it, unfortunately. But if you want me to, I can definitely try. But it's going to probably take some time because I haven't really messed with it. So, that's basically the basics of Textedit, pretty much. Or how I can type with VoiceOver. I didn't want to go into too much detail because this video is already getting long. So let me, while I'm at it, let me go ahead and pick up the phone. My phone. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe, and please feel free to share these videos. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And with that being said, until next time, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.